What is up, YouTube? I am Eric and you are watching Retro Video Game Pickups. In this video, we are talking about 5 Nintendo Game Boy games that you should be playing while you are in isolation. So with that being said, if you like games, consoles, or product reviews, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification. With that being said, let's hop into it. Okay, so here we are, it is 2020 and there's some things going on and we're being quarantined. People are being sent home, people are working from home, and all that stuff. So what I wanted to talk about is 5 games that you should be playing on the Nintendo Game Boy. That is the original Game Boy games that you should be playing, honestly, because these are some of the best games on the system, and honestly, I love all of these, and they are just so much fun. So what we're going to do is talk about each one a little bit and have some fun with it. So with that being said, let's check out the first game. Okay, so this first game we're going to be talking about is Donkey Kong Land. And if you like platformers, kind of type like Donkey Kong Country, but you want to play it on the Game Boy and on the go, this is definitely the way to be doing it. Honestly, it is so much fun. This on your Game Boy and whenever you go out is just so awesome, and I definitely think this is one of those games that I remember back to and I enjoyed playing so much. It was just so much fun, and I thought it was a really good game. And especially for it being a Game Boy game, I thought this was a very good game when it came out, at least when I played it as a kid. So I always loved picking this up and putting it into my Game Boy, and it was just so much fun. I literally had so much fun with it, and I think you will too while you're in captivity. The next game we're going to be talking about is Kirby's Dreamland, and this is such a fun game and I absolutely love it. Now, I didn't play this when I was younger, I just didn't have it on the Game Boy, but in times since then I have gotten my hands on it, and wow, do I enjoy this so much. I just had so much fun with it, and I think that this is a game that if you like Kirby games and you like platformers that are fun but yet simple and look awesome, I think this is definitely a game you should own. If you don't have it, go out and get it. It is a cheap game. I mean, most Game Boy games are cheap, and this is one that I think is just so much fun, and I love every aspect of it. But also, it's one of those games that if you have a child or a younger sibling, you can give this to them and they can play this and have just as much fun as you do. So let's keep going on and see what else we can find that works well with the Game Boy and is a ton of fun to play. Okay, so this is getting a little bit hard. Honestly, there's so many good games on the Game Boy, and I was digging through it and looking back at what I had, and I was like, do I want to talk about this game? Do I want to talk about this game? And whatnot. And honestly, it was hard to make up this list. But these next 3 games are very, very much heavy hitters, and I think you should definitely own them, and there's a few reasons why. The first game is probably, this game at least, is one of my absolute favorites of all time, not even just the Game Boy. It is so much fun, and so many people bought the Game Boy for this game alone. It's so addicting. People didn't think it would be. It's got a crazy backstory, but that is Tetris. Now, you probably know what Tetris is. Now, this is actually the Japanese version. I have the copy of the US version. I just don't know where it is, and I knew where my Japanese copy was, so I just pulled that out for you guys. I think I might have one more Japanese game coming, at least version of it. But I love this. This is so much fun. When I go on vacation, I make sure to take this game because I'll take my Game Boy and this, and I'll waste hours playing it. Now, when I go on vacation and I like to sit back and relax, I'll pull this thing out and play it and have no problem with it. It's not a story-driven game. It's not something that has to be hard, but it's just a fun puzzle game that just keeps going. And this is something that I absolutely love to play anytime that I can, just because of what it is. So much fun, and you can take your Game Boy and pass it to anyone that you know, and they'll know how to play it and enjoy it just as much. So if you know someone who's not really into gaming, but you want to get them kind of interested or something like that, this is definitely a game you should think about, because it's so easy to pick up, but it's so much fun at the same time. Okay, so this next game was one that was hard to decide as well, but I decided to put this one here and wait till the last one for specific reasons. But I think everyone should own this in their collection. There's 3 games that you probably have to own if you own a Game Boy. Tetris was the first one, this is the second one, and then the next one, the last one, is the third one that you should own. And Pokemon. Now, you don't have to specifically own this version of Pokemon. This is Pokemon Red. I actually had Pokemon Blue growing up, but I found Pokemon Red first, and so I grabbed that one. I found Pokemon Yellow, Gold, and Silver. All of those, that's 5 Pokemon games that came out on the Game Boy, and they're all awesome. So when I say Pokemon Red, I really mean all of the Pokemon games. They're so much fun. You could get lost in these literally 4 hours and just have so much fun. I remember when I was a kid playing this game, and I absolutely loved it. And now going back and playing them here when I'm older, it just reminds me of those days and how much this game really means and how much fun this game really is. So I think you guys, if you own a Game Boy and you are looking for games to buy for that Game Boy, I think you have to add this in. This is actually one of the more expensive games on the system that is well known, I guess is probably the right way to say it. These are definitely always sought after, and people are always wanting to pick them up. So be on the lookout for them. If you see them, go ahead and pick them up, because you will always see these, but sometimes it's hard to find it on the market. So I think definitely pick up a Pokemon game. Whatever you pick, as long as it's a Pokemon game, you're not gonna go wrong. Okay, so the very last game here is probably my favorite game on the Game Boy, just because of what it is, and it takes me back to when I was a kid. I talked about the Tetris game had to be one you had to have in your collection. I talked about a Pokemon game, you had to have it in your collection, and now I'm talking about Super Mario Land. Now there's Super Mario Land and Mario Land 2. I played this one more as a kid. This is the original, and I absolutely loved it. I mean, I remember car rides when I was a kid, playing this for hours and just having so much fun. This is a game that, when I think back to whenever I got an original Game Boy, I actually got an original Game Boy Pocket. I didn't actually have the original Game Boy till later, but I loved playing this. Anytime that I was in the car, I was playing this, and anytime it got dark, I had one of those weird, ridiculous lights that hooked up to your Game Boy, and I was playing one of these. And so I think about the Game Boy games that I've talked about here, and all of them have been games that I've loved to play from whenever I got it to now. They're just solid games, and I think you should definitely own them. So all of these games here that we're talking about are really great, and I love absolutely every one of them, whether it's Donkey Kong Land, whether it's Kirby's Dreamland, Super Mario Land. I'm staying with the lands there. You've got Pokemon, you got Tetris. All of these games are heavy hitters on the system, but they are actually pretty decently priced. If you're looking for a cheap system to collect for and have a ton of games that are very fun, I think the Game Boy is where you should be looking right now. You can take it on the go with you, which you probably are going to be stuck inside for the foreseeable future. So might as well grab one of these things, grab a handful of games, and get to playing it, because it's so much fun. Honestly, I love this system, and that's why I wanted to share some of the games that I love with you guys. So with that being said, comment down below and let me know what your favorite games on the Nintendo Game Boy are. And now I'm not talking about any Game Boy Color games in this video, so don't mention any of those because that's not what this is about. But I want to say thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell notification. That way you know when I post more videos, which is every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And realistically, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. And make sure you have a good day.